Hello everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2010 Toyota Prius. And today's review is taking place at Kelly's Toyota, situated in Letterkenny, County Donegal. For all contact information in regards to the dealership, please see the description box below. So in today's review, we'll be looking at the interior of the car. I'll explain how all the features work, also start up, look at the engine, go over the performance data, and take a look around the exterior. So let's get started. Now there are two ways to unlock the Prius. This particular model is the higher spec luxury, so it comes with the smart key access system. You can unlock the vehicle using the key fob as I just done, or if you press this red pattern on the door, it locks the door itself, and after waiting a minute, just put your hand behind the handle and it unlocks. This one comes with the aqua fabric interior, 4 one-touch automatic windows, as well as your lock and unlock features, lower storage, should I mention the fuel filter cap release is located on the floor. And this car of course has a completely keyless ignition. So just leave the keys on the passenger seat. Put your foot on the brake and hold in the power button to power on the car. This particular Prius has 10,791 kilometers on the clock so far. Now at the moment the car is only running on the electric motor. If I just press the accelerator, the petrol engine kicks in. It has a leather wrapped multifunction steering wheel with rack and pinion power assist. You got your trip computer controls and display controls off to the right, and off to the left you got your volume controls. Now you may have heard the engine die there. It's just because the car's been sitting in idle for about a minute, so it just switches to the electric motor just to save fuel. And also you got the cruise control stock located down here, and also of course has a completely manual brake and reach adjustment. Now when you operate any of these controls on the steering wheel, they do display up on the screen here, as I'll just demonstrate, as you can see, and it just highlights whatever button you're pressing at the time. Comes with the CD radio as standard, all your preset stations as well as your standard adjustments. And down here you got your climate control. Everything's displayed up on this very nice LCD screen. You got your temperature adjustments for the driver's side, you got your fan speeds and so on. So down here we have these 3 buttons marked power mode, economy mode and EV. Now power mode, when you press it, it just highlights up on the screen. That there's for driving on the petrol engine. And then economy mode, the car basically sets itself up for what it thinks is the most economical way of driving. And then EV is the car running off the electric motor. Also you have a 1-speed CVT, which stands for continuous variable transmission. It's the only one available for the Prius. And then the P button is just to put the car in park. So we'll just go through the gears. If you press all the way over to the right, it engages neutral. Should just zoom in on this actually, and then push up for reverse, down for drive. Now when the car is in drive, if you push all the way over to the left and down, it puts it in B. Now this here is for when you're basically driving down a hill, and in a normal car when you're driving down a hill you might be right in the brakes because you don't want to be going too fast. What this system does is it actually controls the brakes in such a way that you don't have to do it. The car starts itself out, and judging on the steepness of the hill it will decide how fast it should be going. And then just press P to put it into park again. This car also has a foot operated parking brake. It's also got quite a lot of storage areas. You got one here which could also be used as a cup holder. Under the armrest you just slide it back and it lifts up. Another cup holder and a good deep storage area. It also has the auxiliary input and 12-volt power outlet. And then underneath the central bridge, find a good deep storage area as well. You could fit quite a lot of things in there. It also has this 12-volt power outlet as well. Has a very big interior. There's a lot of room in here. The seats are relatively comfortable. I've heard in the past that maybe on the previous Prius that they can be a bit uncomfortable, maybe not very supportive, but so far I'm only sitting in this car a couple of minutes and they don't seem too bad. Another control I should show you is the HUD. Now you can see that little gap in the dashboard there. Just look at that. And it brings up the speedometer. There's just 2 settings for that. And press the 3rd time just to power it off. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back seats. The car is just chiming a few times to let me know it's lost detection of the key fob itself. There's quite a decent amount of room back here. Legroom isn't too bad. Headroom is quite good as well. Rear visibility isn't too bad either, although as you can see that central piece going across may obscure your visibility just a small bit. Rear quarter windows. And also the power mirror controls are located down there. So we'll just turn on the vehicle's power. I'll actually turn off the fan for this. Turn on the headlights, front and rear fog lights, as well as the hazards. And we'll go ahead and take a look around the exterior. The exterior colour is called Ultra Silver Metallic. Now the first Prius hatchback came out in 2004, and to this day the Prius is the most famous hybrid money can buy. I believe in 2010 I think it was redesigned to this current format, and in fairness the redesign has done the car a lot of favours. It now has a much nicer looking front fascia. It has hazard projector headlamps, and the whole headlight casing has been completely redesigned as well to give it a much more sportier look. There were fog lamps, and as with all Toyota hybrids, the badge itself has been marked with a nice blue accenting. It has these 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels on Michelin tyres as standard. It's got ventilated discs up front, and the rear discs are just solid. It has McPherson strut suspension up front, and on the rear it has a torsion beam suspension. LED indicators integrated into the side wing mirrors. And also as part of the facelift, its taillights are full LEDs. Split rear window. Boot space is quite generous as well. It has 15.2 cubic feet of room, as well as this removable parcel shelf. And the floor here has these 2 locks, in which we find more storage. The rear seats also fold in a split 60/40. And of course boot space has been increased by quite a lot. They fold completely flat, and now you can slide much larger items towards the rear of the vehicle very easily. The overall length is 175.5 inches, It has a width of 68.7 inches. Its total height is 58.8 inches, and the wheelbase is 106.2 inches. Bonnet release. The engine is a 1.8 litre petrol combined with a hybrid synergy drive. And as you can see, the engine does shut off after a while when the car's just been set idling. So now it's just running off the electric motor. It produces 134 brake horsepower and has a top speed of 112 miles per hour. It also produces 105 foot-pounds of torque, and I would estimate that this car can do about 70 miles to the gallon. Now, as I was saying earlier, in the interior of the car, when you're driving around town, this car, you can easily drive it off the electric motor. But when you get to the open road, such as the dual carriageway, and you put your foot down, the petrol engine kicks in to give you a bit more power. This here is what makes the Prius so economical, because most of the time you can drive around with the electric motor itself, but only use the engine when you really are out in the open roads. Now, usually at this point in the review I do the exhaust clip, but this being a hybrid doesn't really have much of an exhaust sound on it. It's more like kind of a continuous hum, as you'll now hear when I press the accelerator. And that's it, really. You can actually hear it better really inside of the car than you will at the back, so that's why I'm not going to bother setting up the camera at the rear of the vehicle. And other standard features on the Prius include the interior lighting, as well as the sunglasses container, and also the handy mirrors. This one's still wrapped in plastic, also illuminated for both driver and passenger sides. This car also has a split glove box. So we'll just finish up the review of the Prius now. It's not a bad car. I'll admit a lot of you probably already know this. This isn't my most favourite car in the world. I personally think that Prius is a bit overrated, and I can give one classic example. A few years ago, the previous generation of the Mercedes S-Class was actually voted, when it first came out, as being more economical than this car. A lot of people have debates on what the future of motoring is. Will it be hybrids? Will it be electric cars? Personally, I think the way forward is hydrogen powered cars. Now, Honda have already proved this with the Clarity, which runs entirely off hydrogen, and it is really a better better solution to the future of motoring, because electric cars are too unreliable, and we can't use hybrids because they do still use a fuel powered engine, and when the oil runs out they're going to be useless. So the way I see it, hydrogen is the way to go. Now, this facelifted model of the Prius isn't too bad. It has been improved from the last one dramatically. The styling is a lot better, and I will admit the interior is quite nice. The seats are quite comfortable. It has a lot of storage areas. It's got a nicely designed dash. It's actually very similar to the previous generation Toyota Auris, the way the central bridge is done. And it does have a decent amount of room in the back. Rear visibility is quite good. So I suppose it's not a bad car overall, really. I can certainly see the appeal. I can see why people like these. I mean, the road tax in this car is only €180. This is a 4-year-old car, so that's really quite good. Well, personally, I don't think I'd buy one. If I was looking for an eco car, I'd definitely go out of my way and find a Honda Clarity or something. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed this full in-depth tour of the 2010 Toyota Prius. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe, and please stay tuned. There will be plenty more videos to come. Thanks for watching everyone.